Oh shit, it's that time. It's that time, baby. You know what time it is? Oh shit. Do your push-ups, son. Do your push-ups, son. Oh shit. Oh shit. Guess who's back?
Booyah!
Guess who's back?
We're back,
Back
motherfuckers.
Back again.
I like
If
to
you
drop the
fucking-
F-bombs right out of the gate, you know?
Right
just
out of the
to-
gate. Let them know.
so everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
before we even give the warning, they popped on. They're like, oh, it might be a first-time viewer. We got one right now. First-time viewer, and they're like, oh, this was a pretty dope intro. Did you see that guy's fucking pecs? What is this show all about? What is it about?
That's right.
And then we
What,
open
Craig
up with
Robinson is on this?
Yeah, Craig Robinson's on this bitch. I gotta check
Sometimes,
out this
people,
podcast.
sometimes. Just want to let you know.
Sometimes, not all the time, but
How's
we
the,
do get them on.
How's the audio on your end? How am I sounding?
Oh yeah, we didn't do a sound check. Pretty good. How about you? Let's do it live right here.
Yeah,
Just
no,
sound
you
check.
sound good.
Ready?
Yep.
All right,
What are we
good.
doing?
I didn't touch anything.
I played around with the pattern. Asked
Gotcha.
my other guy who has one of these what pattern he usually uses, and he said it's the one that looks like an upside down heart. So that's what I'm
Yeah, it's
trying.
the one that where it's only this mic in front of you.
Yeah.
So I learned about you know about mics though, right?
I mean, I used to know a little bit about different patterns, the cardioid and supercardioid and all that stuff, but
Yeah,
I don't
like
really
the figure eight
remember.
one is like the whole thing. So if you got two people
Yeah.
sitting here, you can have a pretty decent conversation with it. It's actually one of the reasons I bought it, because I would like to start doing. Oh, are these comments live? Robert Lewis.
Oh,
Are
fuck
these
yeah,
comments live?
Robert.
That's your boy. Hey, shout out to
Yeah,
Robert.
we went to school together. Shout out to Robert. Thanks for joining, man.
All right, cool. But listen up. Before we get any farther, Mr. Robert Lewis, I want to get into who you are, how you know him, if you were gay with him in his first 14 years or not. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my mom. Always checking
Hi,
in.
June.
Always checking in. Hey, couple more weeks. She going to be here, bro.
Oh, that's
Gonna be
nice.
here.
You're going to get her on
Hell
camera?
yeah. Oh,
You can get
yeah.
her
She
off
already,
camera, like with a mic, and she's like, you know,
she's going to be sitting right here
silhouette.
next to me. She's going to be sitting right
Alright.
next to me.
Nice.
But the way the show works, guys, let's talk about it. We have some a couple topics that we may discuss tonight. We don't really do a lot of show prep. The show is kind of generated through your comments. So if you want to talk about something, you want to throw something out there, we'll talk about it. We may not know much about it, and we'll tell you that, but we will talk about it. We'll attempt to talk about it. Like, we'll talk about the best of our knowledge. And then if you want to join the show, you can do so by putting in the link at the bottom of the screen, punch it into any of your web browsers on anything. And you can join the show with us. You'll probably see some people pop into the panel later. And then if not, like I said, communicate through the comment section. Just like Scott and I went to a royal school where we already
where we were raised by cows.
Oh shit.
We
We'll get
went to
into
school
that.
with a few cows too.
So Robert, if you want to come into the show and tell us in more detail about your experience with you and Scott fucking with cows, we can do that. You just put the link in the bottom of the screen. We'll welcome you on. We'd love to have you on. If not, stick around, watch the show, and comment through the comment section. That's it. And if you don't want to do that, I mean, the only other thing, we don't have a donate button. We do this shit. You know, we got studio. He got a nice house. We bought this shit. You know what I'm saying? We don't make shit off this podcast. If you do want to be a sponsor, let us know, and we could definitely make that happen. But if not, just hit the share button. Like,
That's
you don't
all
have
we
to give
care.
us a dime.
We
That's it.
only really care about shares.
Yeah, I mean, you could give us money, and if you just so happen to want to do so, then my stuff's at the bottom of the screen.
You got the wish list on Amazon.
I know I
Where's
got
my
it.
book?
I got it, bro. I got it. That's the first topic. But you can Venmo me at Thomas Gadori. You can PayPal me at T Gadori, and you can cash at me at $ Thomas Gadori if you want to help out the show. There it is. What? I actually still have that up from the fantasy football podcast that I put out for our draft selection, and I forgot to put that on the bottom of the screen. So I'll put it on here. But tonight's topics. Let's talk about it. Podcast book club. We're going to talk about that.
Dovetails right in what I was saying.
Yeah, Cuomo, grab him by the pussy, boofing, and vaccinated but still hospitalized.
All right,
because that's happening. So we'll start with the book club. Scott, if you want to tell the viewers real quick what this was all about and how this came about, because we want to kind of make this a pattern. When we explain what happens, we like the other people get involved. It really is like a podcast book club. But Scotty, take it away. I'm gonna go grab the package.
Yeah. Okay. So, of course, on this podcast, if you're a new watcher or listener, Robert, that may be you, but you and I, you know me from Facebook and certainly from school, but more from Facebook. I get a little bit of a reputation as the liberal progressive fellow on this podcast, and so one of our watchers / listeners wanted to see if he could get me to read a book that was sort of counter to my politics. And so he went on to the wish list that G had put up on Amazon, and he bought this book. And I think he must have sent it to G because I don't have it yet. But I think his thing was, I bet he won't read it. And you know what? I gotta be honest with you, I can't remember what the name of the book was off the top of my head. G will clue us back in. But absolutely, I'll read it. You know, I'm a reader anyway. And despite the reputation that I have, it's not entirely inaccurate. Yeah, I'm liberal. Oh, there it is. All right.
Look, hey, I'll tell you this. I know people are sick of fucking hearing it because I know people do way more than me. I get it. But with my work schedule and football and this podcast, it gets ridiculously crazy. So this came look who's back.
Gory-eyed Beast, our boy from Canada.
Our boy from Canada.
Awesome. Yes, it was Marxism. What was the name of the book?
So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and open it. I think I'm gonna let you. I think we decided that we're gonna let you read it first before we tell you which podcast listener. I will give you a hint that you have interacted with him. Okay. I'm not going to tell you if it was in the comments or live, but you have interacted with him.
I'm going to guess I know who it is anyway, but
wow.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to write it down. I'm going to put a little envelope, and then
there you go. I was actually just going to ask you to see if you did know, but I don't want you to do that.
No. Yeah. We'll see.
So he's right. It's the American Marxism by Mark Levine. If you don't know who Mark Levine is, he has written a lot of books, podcaster. He has a show on Fox News. So it's called American Marxism. And somebody bought it for Scott, wants him to give it a whirl. Scott said he would. So when Scott is done with that book, we're going to tell him who the sender is, and then he is going to get a book for this gentleman to read. And so on and so on. So,
by the way, did that gentleman agree?
Yes.
To read a book?
He loves it. He's just as excited. He's just as excited as you about it. He thinks it's good.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll do a little book.
All you could do is read it and see what happens.
That's right. That's right.
You know, you might enjoy it. At least it might be comedy, but yeah, that's what it is. First book of the LTA podcast is Mark Levine's American Marxism. Just dropped. I think it dropped Tuesday.
Oh, really?
It's brand new, and he's been doing the rounds. That's what made me think about it. I was like, damn, he was on a podcast promoting it. I saw him on Sean Hannity promoting it, and then somewhere else. I was like, damn, this dude is rocking this book out. So pretty excited to see what you think, and I may read it when you're done. Do you think the sender
knowledge of who it is would bias my reaction? That seems unlikely. I'll be honest, but
do you think the sender will bias?
Like, if I knew who it was, would I be less likely to read it with an open mind?
Oh yeah, So G is the House Republican. Far
Nah.
from that, buddy.
He's
Obviously,
MOR.
you
In the
haven't
middle
seen
of
the
the road,
podcast.
sort of.
Yeah, so we'll give you a background since you're Scott's friend, and I'd like to talk about you for a few minutes anyway because you popped in. You're this is what we do. We're going to talk about it. So I want to talk about this, Robert Lewis. I just want to tell you kind of the podcast. So yeah, Scott was very nice to himself when he described to you what he is to the podcast. I think he said liberal leaning, guy. I don't even know what
Liberal,
you said.
progressive.
Yeah, and that's we got a hate mail. If you want to hit us up at on the email address, we have our own. It's really for Scott haters, but you just go to LTA podcast 2020@gmail.com. That's where all the mail comes in, good and bad. We do get some compliments. We get some people on the spot. We got two. I think they might be bots. We get botted a lot, but I got 2 emails to our podcast page asking if we needed sponsors. And I was like, is this real?
Did you respond?
I did respond, and I asked them. They were being, get down. My cat. Nothing like pussy on the table. Get down. Goddamn squirrels. What was I saying?
Maybe bots about sponsors, emails about sponsors.
Oh, anyways, it was like a little side note. I want to get to your boy here. And they were being like real like quiet with what the product would be. I was like, just what is the product? They're like, oh, it's household.
Okay.
Almost everything's household if it's in your house, right?
Is it X-rated? Because I don't care if you're
gonna what? Yeah, and I don't know why they would describe it as household, but yeah, it was like a dildo. It's like a thing where your significant others, male, female, however you want to say you are, inserts it in their body. And the other person controls it with the phone. Like you could be at a restaurant.
They actually send you like a link to it?
Not a link to it, but that's their product.
Dude.
How did they say it? How did they say it? Bluetooth capable adult toys. Something like that. But have you ever seen there's some YouTube videos where they just go out on a date night and the whole time the husband has the control. So they're walking through the mall. He like zzz, and then they're sitting at dinner table. Zzz, she's like, oh my God, maybe we should leave. Or she's like, yo, stop, I'm trying to eat. And the whole night, so dude,
I thought wait a minute, hold on. So I'm just saying
you don't know what that is?
No, I know what it is. I just don't want you to go on and on about this when we're not getting paid for it.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was being very well. We may take the deal. But right now, all they want to do is send us free product. I thought I would I don't know how my wife would react. I don't know how your wife would react. But if they'll send us 2, I'll take that as a sponsorship.
Yeah,
I'll try it.
All right. Let's open the door. Let's see what happens. Yeah, all right. So I'm on board. Not that I don't know if this is a democracy.
And the other one was like a 3-in-1 popcorn nacho maker or something. The old school popcorn poppers when we were kids.
Yeah.
Not on the stove and the tinfoil thing, but
right. Like the heat, the hot air ones.
They were pretty dope, right? So it makes popcorn and like Fritos and like nacho, what are they called? Tortillas. Which I thought was pretty cool as well. I was like, so anyways, back to your boy, Robert Lewis. Yes, he is known as, some of the names were, what were they? The hate names, we should read that email that we had.
Oh yeah.
The original hate mail.
All right. So there's, Robert, there's some hate mail. What was it? I feel like libtard was one of them, but
libtard is definitely multiple people called you that. That's easy. Everybody says that.
But that's
he's the libtard of the show.
Show a little creativity, if you're gonna bash me, let's bash me in an interesting way.
All right, there you go, gory-eyed beast. Yeah, it would give you a general idea, but yes. So I'm the guy that the hate mail that I get is that undecisive and I don't want to pick a side and I want to play both sides and I don't know how the fence never breaks when his fat ass sits on the fence on every topic. That's what I get. You
Which
know.
is funny.
I was 280. I'm 285. Jesus Christ. I was like 228 at one point in my life, and I'm 208, and I'm still a little fat. We call it hashtag thick boy. It's like a group we have. Like
Thick
I
boy?
guess yeah, thick boy. Hashtag thick boys. Like it's like the dad bod movement. You know, like some girls actually like it. I get disgusted when I take off my shirt. But some girls like it. So if they like it, you know, fuck it. I'll wear tighter shirts. You know what I'm saying? I used to wear bigger shirts to hide it. Like, oh, they're never gonna know I'm fat. Like, sometimes it looks better. Sometimes it looks better with a tighter shirt. I know Scott's leanings, but I wasn't sure of yours. Honestly, the whole point of this podcast is because we're on social media trying to have conversations. You know, during the pandemic, this podcast started during the pandemic. And well, the Who Cares podcast started during the pandemic. This is a spinoff of that one, so it was pretty close. But anyways, yeah. So I'm the guy that can never make up his mind. I play both sides. Me and Scott have argued about stuff, and me and Scott have agreed and argued with each other.
Let's not forget when I walked off the podcast.
Yeah. So he got mad one day and got pissed off, and you know, you should probably love that. But anyways, yeah, I'm not a Republican. I hate them both. That's the whole thing. I get mad when people try to create me. Like, why can't we have a conversation? Let's talk about it. And you can ask me my views on certain things. And then maybe it's okay for you to put me in a category. But to put me in a category on one thing I said or a comment on social media, first of all, it's all about context. You could tell when we're joking on here. I'll say something and I'll laugh, and he'll laugh, and everybody will laugh. Well, at least some people will laugh. If it's not funny, it's not funny. But it's the negative part of, like, I lost a lot of friends and family. Well, right from 2016, basically from Trump running for president. Whenever he started running for president to COVID to now, I've lost so many friends. So being chunky, that's right. Is Robert Lewis chunky? He should come on. But anyways,
I haven't seen him in ages.
We just want you to know that we broadcast on the entire fucking continent. Continent. How do I say that?
Continent.
Continent. And we haven't had anybody live from Mexico yet, but we have had people live from Canada. And he's back. The gory-eyed beast, straight out of Canada. The Canada assassin, some people call him. The maskless. The maskless. Now we even know what you look like. What's up, man?
How's the job? You still got it, right? They haven't fired you for being on podcast.
Oh yeah, no, I'm still around.
For anybody
I
that
still
doesn't
have the
follow,
mask too, because as soon as they took the restrictions off, the COVID cases spiked. So our post orders, the mask is still here.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
I got you.
But that's sort of the indicator, because if someone comes in the bank and I say anything that they could get offended by, then I'm off the site. So if the mask is up, you can go ahead and say, don't care, dump me if you want to. But I won't be responding when the mask is up. That means someone's standing in here. I have headphones on. They're not as cool as your sister's AirPods, but they'll keep people from hearing what you're saying.
Yeah, see, that's a fucking viewer, dog. See how he remembers stuff from other podcasts? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's a fucking true fan. Number one. Number two, for y'all that don't know, this is Gory Eye Beast. We met him just like this. He just happened to jump on YouTube and we were there.
Oh my God.
We don't know him from a can of paint. All we know is that he works every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and he always checks in even from work. He does fly a plane. But
no, he does not.
Into the bank.
Oh shit! All right, my name's Dave, by the way. Gory Eyed Beast is just an online handle.
That's all right.
You ain't got to keep calling me Gory Eyed Beast.
Oh, my bad.
You might have noticed that there are nicknames for people here. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
what is the way they call you older than Methuselah's Billy Goat every time they bring it up?
Yeah,
how old are you anyway?
Every fucking time. I'm 51.
Oh shit! Well, big deal. That ain't that old.
I know.
That old?
I'm older than everybody else. That's the thing. They like to make fun of that, Dave, because I don't look 50. They think it's hilarious.
Mask on.
All
right.
Oh, I can still hear you. I just can't really respond. And there's people in the bank, but I just stepped out.
All right. Anyway, glad to have you back, man. Hope you can stick around for a little bit. I think we're gonna have some fun tonight. We got
There we
again
go.
another. If you weren't paying attention before, we got an old friend from high school, Robert Lewis, has joined us, and we were going to talk about him a little bit too.
Yeah. So check this out. Oh, he's muted. Look at his name. Look at his name. Pilot to Bombardier. Pilot to Bombardier. Pilot to Bombardier. I probably
his name
spelled
doesn't
that
come
wrong
up on the thing.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you're right. I guess I should show it.
And mine's not either. So.
Oh, he might have it off. Damn.
Where's our damn producer?
None of our names are up. So I have a setting wrong. My bad. I suck at this game. I always see that and I'm like, of course it's always on. Why is it not on? Now it's not on.
So while you're messing with that.
Anyways, go ahead. So tell us how you met your friend there.
I don't really know how I met Robert. I mean, I went to school in King William, which is, like he says, very rural, and we went to school with everybody forever. I think Robert, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, I think you were a year behind me in school. I don't know. I just kind of feel like I always knew you. We didn't hang out. I don't remember really hanging out a lot in school or anything.
And raised by cows.
What's that? Yeah. Well, I mean, it was really rural. I mean, everybody knew everybody. It was that, I had less than 100 people in my graduating class. So
did you? So have you? Yeah, I'm sure you went cow tipping.
I didn't. That wasn't my thing, man. Although I'll tell you a story. There was a guy, and Robert, you might remember this. I don't know. That might have been a little before your time, since you were behind me. There was these two guys, and I remember their names. I don't know if I want to say them out loud, but the two guys actually went and shot a bunch of cows and got in real bad trouble for it. They got drunk and took out some rifles. And shot
did they get arrested?
Yeah. They were in high school. I mean, it was high school.
So well, justifiably so. That's a prick move, man. You're cutting into somebody's income.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, as he just said, cutting into someo's income. All I'm thinking about is the poor cow.
Well, that too, but I mean,
they shot. My recollection is they shot multiple cows, and they did get arrested. I don't really know what I'm sure they were charged with crimes, and they probably were convicted at it because they were juveniles. I don't know if that had any bearing in it, but they had to pay for the cows.
You live in King William when you can say, I remember hearing about that cow shooting, but I can't remember who it was.
Well, any other King William people who are watching this will know. I'm gonna say one of them's name. But the other thing I'm gonna say is, we went to high school there, 8th to 12th grade. There was no middle school, and I was just this little teeny kid going into 8th grade. And my first day in algebra class, there's this dude sitting across from me with a full ass beard. And he drove a hearse to school. And that was one of the guys who shot the cows. It was scary as shit to this little.
So we had red flags. We had red flags, and y'all didn't take care of that shit.
Actually, he's a nice guy. He was a nice enough guy, but he just looked scary and drove a hearse. So,
damn.
Wild shit. But so Robert and I guess we probably met when he was in high school then. But we reconnected on Facebook, and he and I have very similar politics.
No, he said 7th grade. Didn't you see his comment?
He said he moved in 7th grade. I was probably in 8th grade, so I wouldn't have met him until 8th grade.
I should probably read the whole
And I'm
comment.
pretty sure this was, oh, good Lord. Yikes.
Move from Henrico.
That must have been some kind of culture shock for you, man.
And you used to say, I was typing my ass off. Look at this guy go.
I know, he is going, boy.
And Robert, I think you and I talked about this once on Facebook, and you don't remember it, but I think me and a guy named John Kraus kind of tossed you over a fence, jokingly, and tore your jacket. It was kind of a dick move, but you seemed very, I don't know, totally cool with the whole thing, and we were just kind of playing around being that sort of barely upperclassmen, showing our muscle, barely upperclassmen muscle. And we threw you over a fence. But like I said, you were very good natured about the whole thing. So it was not
Robert.
So is this your way of dancing around saying, remember when I was a bully and threw you up over the fence?
Well, here's the weird thing. I probably was more encouraging John to throw him over the fence because I wasn't really a bully. I was this teeny little asthmatic kid. So, It might be a vague memory.
TJ Bell checking in.
You laughed, as far as I remember, you laughed at it, man, and it was just like, okay, we were just being goofy, but
no, you were being fucking bullies, bro.
Yeah, it was kind of an asshole move. I'm not gonna, but that was kind of expected when you were an 8th grader. You got picked on out there. That's the way it happened. Like I get picked on too. So.
Well, yeah, if I went to school with you, I would have definitely bullied your ass, Scott. Cross was the bully. Scott wasn't. He was a slender kid. So I'm saying you can't be your build and be a bully.
That's right. It's true.
I mean, nowadays you can, because it's all about cyberbullying. So the bullies really probably look more like you. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. Yeah. I was just more of a kind of a standoffish asshole, I think. That was probably more.
No way.
No,
I
really.
feel like that was in one of our hate mails.
Yeah, somebody called me a standoffish asshole.
Standoffish, libtard asshole.
Right.
Got it.
Yeah. Exactly
like, get creative. Come on, people. So anyway, that's
hey,
Robert and I. So we reconnect on Facebook. We've had a lot more in common and had many more interactions probably than we had in school. So
hey, cool. Scott, how would you take this? I called you by accident and I hung up. I FaceTimed you by accident and I hung up, and then you called me and I missed a call. I legit missed it. So then you text me and say, hey, buddy, did you mean to text me? And I say, no, my bad. I dick dialed you, because my phone don't go in my back pocket. That would be a butt dial. It's always my dick that dials people by accident. So I said it to somebody and they got offended. Like I was making it sound like they were gay. So I did it again today, but I didn't get, not to the same person. I did it again to see if it would offend most people, I guess. 2 for 2, 100%. But he didn't respond at all.
I think people are just listening for the highlights. My dick called you. That's all they heard. And then they're like, no, dude, fuck off.
Sometimes that's kind of out of the zone, you got to put
we isolate clips all the time. I'm gonna put this montage together. I've been working on it. It is fucking hilarious.
Well, I just wanted to mention too, last week, when I went back, because when I came back in after my break, I listened to the rest of the podcast, and I was like, shit, man, the podcast got 50 times better once I left.
Well, if we kick you out, it's because the viewership is dropping. You didn't dump him, did you really? You did.
No, he's there. Hey, okay. That's Robert Lewis. That's another thing. If you say something stupid, we usually say don't care and we just boot you off. But that was just a joke. I knew that would make Scott laugh, and he hit it perfectly. He was actually explaining that it could happen, and bang. That's what I'm saying. Dick dialed. Yeah, you're right. If I was gay, because the 2 people I did it to were men. I do it to everybody.
Were there any women around when you said it?
No, it was a text message between me and another man. You know what I'm saying? And so this comment here, I dicked out, I'm not gay, and I didn't do it to a female. So I wasn't horny as fuck. I'm a man, but I'm not horny as fuck. But I think it's just telling the truth. If you're gonna sit there and say that I sat on my phone and butt dialed you, that's what's up. But if you put it in your pocket and it hits your dick and it dials somebody, that's a dick dial. Like you're lying if you say butt dial. I agree with the
accuracy. And your original question was, how would I take it? I would think it was funny as shit.
You would laugh, right? How about you, Pilot?
Come up with other ways to say it, like I pube dialed you or something like that.
Exactly. I would have got more specific. I would have said, how do you know it was your dick exactly? Like, was it your left nut? Which pocket was it in?
That's right. It depends if it was leaning to the left or not.
Exactly.
Right.
Because if you're my age, you're short, shriveled, and to the left, so it's probably not.
Yeah. If you listen to past podcasts, we have come to the conclusion, and I think a couple people have verified it, that Scott has a pretty fucking decent sized hog, even though he's 51. But
not talking about this.
Hog. I will say that's the word I was looking for the other day. I was trying
Don't care.
Yeah.
He blew himself. He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, buddy. No, but listen, I mean, and Scott knows me. I could put up. You see my hand right here?
I see it. We can see it.
I wear a size 8 shoe. My 12-year-old's hands are bigger than mine. I'm 5'5", 208 pounds. I can't even pretend to tell you I have a huge hog. Like, it's impossible. What, everything on my body is small and short except that? Like, come on. So mine kind of hangs down in the middle. It doesn't even make it to the left or the right.
I asked for this, didn't I? What were today's topics?
You asked for this just by logging on, man.
We're gonna go through the LTA podcast book group, and then our second topic is dicks. Who wants to come on? We do have topics. We're getting a little off pace here, but this was
you've got a few extra. They say that you've got a few extra inches on the inside. So if girls ask me for a dick pic, I got to send them an X-ray.
I used to joke that I used to measure from the taint forward.
Oh yeah. Oh, all of us did, especially when you were growing up. Like, yo. I'm in 8th grade,
all the way to the end, right?
Yeah, you're like, yo, I got 8 inches, and I'm only in 7th grade. I'm gonna be a monster, right? So the topics are LTA book club. We went over that. Scott's gonna read American Marxism, bought for a podcast listener for him, and then we got to talk about Cuomo, right? To grab him in the pussy. I think he got caught. Yeah. So right. I just did a little bit of research. Actually, this topic was sent to me by another podcast listener that wanted us to talk about it. And I asked that person if I should send it to Scott ahead of time. So, because this particular listener gets annoyed with you when you say, in the beginning of the podcast, we always say we'll talk about anything or do our best. And then sometimes you'd be like, well, I forgot your wording, but I'm not prepared to talk, or whatever you say. What do you say? I don't feel comfortable talking about this because I don't know about it.
I'll never say that. I'll never say I'm not comfortable talking about it. Sometimes I'll say I don't feel like I know enough to discuss it.
There you go. Know enough to discuss it. So I mean, he feels like.
So you bring up the topic, and all I can do is either make shit up or just say, oh, I don't know. You know, I haven't read anything about it. I don't know enough about it.
Enough about it. Yeah, that's what he said.
Right. So
I was like, if I don't send it to him and I surprise him on the show, there's a chance that he's like, oh, I heard something about it, and then we don't have a topic. But if I send it to you ahead of time, you can do some research. So it's like a catch-22. I do like the surprise factor, but I'd also like for you to know.
Well, I don't know how. All right, so I probably this is one of those things. Big Donald rise to the ring.
Robert Lewis just dropping gems tonight.
That's right. Oh shit. TJ was up in here too.
Yeah, I saw he just bounced
comment. Okay.
He just dropped Mask. I think he wants us to talk about Mask. It's got a smiley face with a mask on it.
We'll get to it. We'll get to one more thing. The truth is, yes, I do not know a lot about it.
I knew it.
However, see, this is the thing. Whoever said you should talk about this to Scott, blah blah blah. What they're going to expect me to do, most likely, since Cuomo is a Democrat, is to find some excuse to defend him. But the fact is, if allegations against him are true, then fuck it, he's got to go. I'm with Biden on that. You got to resign, man.
So that was one of the conversations I had with. So they said Biden was asked on stage, like live, and he said, yeah, he's got to go. Yeah, even though he hasn't been charged with anything. Right?
Yeah, but
they did an investigation and proved that it was there. And what was there? Did you read it? I read it.
I don't know. I really don't know much. I mean, but these allegations have been going on for a while, so I don't. What was it? Inappropriate advances, things like that.
Yeah, it's just that. It's very. That's why I was telling him, my friend. He says it won't happen yet because they haven't gone to court or anything. I want to hear there's a one main whistleblower lady. So there's like 6, I think, but one that completely came out. I think her name's been released, but she hasn't told her story. And
so is this guy like a politician Cosby or what? Like I've heard nothing.
Cuomo is he's the governor of New York. So one of our biggest.
Wait a minute. Stop. Pilot to Bombardier. Bombardier. You don't know who he is?
He's not from our country.
I understand, but God, it's Canada, bro.
You don't know who our prime minister is, or sorry, our president is?
Oh yeah, you're right.
See, this is that.
You got
this
me.
Is that
You
sort
got
of
me. You got me.
That American-centric attitude that pisses people off all over the world.
Well, I don't know, so that's why I asked.
So basically,
fair.
I'll
Totally
just read it. I looked it up earlier. I'll look it up again, and it's very. And I don't want to be that guy, but like he just did it. He's like, so he's a politician, Cosby.
Well, I'm taking my context clues here and guessing, right?
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. That's fair.
Yeah.
If you haven't read about it, I don't think he's a rapist. I think he's just.
He's a fucking powerful man. He's a powerful man in America. That's what he is.
Yeah, which should say pretty much it.
Exactly.
So my official position is very much like Robert Lewis. Allegations are true. He should be gone. I don't really want to hear Republicans talk about it because like he said, some of their folks have been applauded for similar actions, or they've defended these people for similar actions. There's I will have a couple of caveats in this. I think you could argue that he shouldn't have to step down just because Republicans want him to step down. Because they're certainly not going to ask anybody to step down for shit like that. I mean, goddamn, Matt Gaetz has credibly been accused of having sex with minors, and he's still a goddamn congressman.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. It's kind of my point to why I wanted to talk about it, because I think that happens a lot. I think a lot. You know who the comedian? I think we talked about this before. Aziz, or he's like an Indian comedian.
Oh, Aziz Ansari. Yeah.
Yeah. So, he had basically what came down to it after the investigation was he had a bad date, and he took the wrong vibe. And I think they're in the back of an Uber, and he's, tried to put his hand up her skirt. They were kissing.
No.
And then
he had sex with her. They had sex. And then afterwards she said she felt, just super pressured into it and stuff like that.
Maybe that was part of her thing when she was in the car and he started in the car or whatever.
Maybe. I don't remember that part. I just remember they did.
But it was like,
sex,
but
I felt pressured into it. And it's like, well, okay.
Yeah, but my point is,
where's your agency? Do you have some? He didn't stop you from leaving. And I'm not necessarily. It makes it more difficult to draw a line when you put that in the same category as a Cosby. It's like, well,
it helps if they say no.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know that she was saying no. I can't remember the specifics of it. I'm not disagreeing with you there, Dave.
Making out in the back of a cab is not saying no in my book.
Right. And so,
but it's like Robert said, if allegations are true, that's a big if. So
right. Well, I'm going to, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they are. So we'll going back to Cuomo. It wouldn't surprise me if they are true. And there are a lot of people who will say, well, they didn't make Trump resign and all this stuff. And so Cuomo shouldn't have to resign. Well, I don't know that that's a really good argument. The argument in bad faith, really. If you want shit to be better or different, you can't just do the same thing that you are dismissive of in others, or you look down upon in others. So, yeah, I think he should resign if it's true.
New York Attorney General Letitia James announced the findings of the investigation earlier on Tuesday and said the governor violated federal and state laws. The probe found a hostile and unsafe work environment in which women, including a state trooper assigned to the governor's detail, described inappropriate groping and sexual harassment.
Yeah.
So the interesting part is she's not pressing charges. She's letting the local authorities. That's what.
Well, if she was working for his office, then he's taken his career into his own hands by messing with her in the first place. In any way.
Yeah. But the point of I went through 4 different statements. It's really what it was: inappropriate groping, right, and inappropriate kissing and hugging. So does that mean that one or 2 or 3 times he hugged a little bit? He little Joe Biden hug went a little too long. Maybe kissed her on her cheek. The groping. I mean, we did have a president that, like the grabbing the pussy.
Famously decided that was his right.
So it's like, yeah, it was okay, but it's locker room talk, so fuck it. But my point is, can we see what he did? I'm not trying to stick up for him because I'm sure he's a dirtball because he's a powerful white man politician in America. He's the governor of fucking New York. I'm sure he thinks he's king shit just like his brother does. I thought his brother had the issues. When I seen Cuomo on the breaking news of CNN, I thought it was Chris. Because
By the way,
he works out and he's like cut up and he's divorced. And
for our Canadian friends, the governor in question of New York, his brother has a show on CNN called Cuomo.
They got CNN in fucking Canada. Are you guys trolling me right now? You got CNN in fucking Canada. You know who Chris Cuomo is, right?
I think I know who that is. And
yes,
we have CNN.
They probably have Canadian anchors. I don't know.
No, it ain't that different. You guys asked me this once before. No, the divide is not that much. There's nothing going on in Canada. We watch American pretty well.
Oh, okay. Cuomo's the brother show is on at like 9 p.m. weeknights, I think.
Hey, shout out to Jason Parks, back for the first time in about 7 podcasts. Where you been at? The AG said that at this point it's a civil matter. She is not bringing charges. That's what people have the problem with. She's not bringing charges. And I don't disagree with her. How can she? Like, she can't be the one. Don't they kind of, doesn't she kind of work for him? So I want to see somebody else do it. But he definitely, if, like you said, if the allegations are true, he should be charged, correct?
Yeah, at the very least, he should be resigning.
Trump just said it. We don't want to get into this, Scott, but Trump just said grab him in the pussy. He didn't technically have people say he did it. So,
right.
There's that.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a pig, sure, but I didn't like what they did to Trump there because, I mean, you're a football coach. I mean, what gets said in the locker room? Like, come on, none of your players are ever working any jobs ever again if there's a hot mic in there recording everything they say. I was in the Army. I played sports. I would never repeat the shit I said as a kid.
Well,
never.
Let's not get it twisted. I was in the Navy. I know what you're talking about. I know all about locker room speech, but I'm a football coach of 12-year-olds.
Okay. Football, I thought you were like high school. Never mind.
And we don't have a locker room. So
I was picturing high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And not bringing charges because it could be viewed as a political, as she would be in line for his job. See, that's what I'm saying. I understand the conflict of interest, but that just means nothing's going to happen.
Well, I mean, the civil thing, I mean, to me, that's taking the high road for her. I mean, that's pretty damn good.
So that is taking the high road.
It's taking the high road. It's like, well,
yo, Jason, come on the show. Come back on the show. It gets even worse when it's when he releases video of him hugging and kissing all types of people. Read the room, Cuomo.
So anyway, I don't know who suggested the topic, but I hope they were not disappointed with the way I addressed it.
Well, they probably were, and they would. But my point is, again,
if you happen to be disappointed, Scott will dick dial you and apologize next week.
I pube dial. I will pube dial you. Dick dialing is for G. I will.
Well, see, he can't dick dial. He can't dick dial because he doesn't keep his fucking phone in his sock.
Well, I was gonna say my pockets don't go down that far.
Yeah, did you ever see that? Did you ever see Bad Grandpa or Bad Grandpa 2.5 with Jackass? What's his name?
Yeah, Johnny Knoxville. I saw part of it. I didn't really see all of it.
Oh, you have to watch that.
Was that part where didn't he get his dick stuck in like a drink machine or something like that?
He got his dick stuck in everything. It's hilarious, right? But the better part is when they kept that dick that was stuck in the Coke machine. It's not a dick, it's his balls actually. Really long, like got stretched all out. So he had short gym shorts on, and the rest of the movie is his balls are just hanging down to his knees. So fucking funny. And it's real people. Half that movie, it's like Borat,
Yeah.
Half the movie is like live footage where he met where he's talking to somebody for real, like interviewing Newt Gingrich, I think, in the first one.
Yeah.
And or somebody. And then there's other acting parts where they do it in a studio. Well, that's the same thing for this. So he's just sitting there in a 7-Eleven buying some fucking Coca-Colas or some Slurpees for his grandson, and his balls are just smacking his grandson in the leg as they're standing there, and everybody's looking at him like, what the fuck? That shit had me gasping for air laughing, bro. It's just, it's just stupid shit. Craig Robinson back in the building, taking a break from Fox, and he's all these Pizza Hut commercials. Craig Robinson, what do you mean Trump had tons of sexual assault?
What do you mean? Question mark. Trump had tons of sexual assault allegations.
Hey, don't correct him because he's black, though.
I'm trying to help you.
Oh, that's what I want to ask you. I know we're all over the place, but I like shows like this. Canada, Pilot to Bombardier.
You could at least spell Bombardier correctly.
I know I didn't. Ooh, I knew it. I sat there.
I didn't say nothing
before when you were fucking working and somebody actually came in and you had to mute us. I said I probably spelt it wrong, but that's your name. Pilot to Bombardier. Whatever. I don't even know how it's real spelled. Over. I have a question for you. What's the ratio to white people and black people in Canada?
In Canada, hell if I know. Do you ever see how big it is? Where I live, it's changing. It's ever changing because
is it gentrification?
No, I wouldn't go that far. It's more like how would I put it? It used to be that companies had to show and prove that they were trying to hire, native Canadians before they started hiring foreigners. And once COVID hit and there was all these shit jobs that no one wanted to do, they got rid of all of that. And they just said, listen, if you want to come from anywhere, you're in, because they gave the Canadians a bunch of free checks to stay home. So none of them wanted to do any work. I'm not going to form an opinion on this. This is just how it is. So as a result, we have a lot more brown people than we ever had before, like everywhere. So a lot more than I ever experienced before, to answer your question.
But you closed the border to the U.S.?
Still is. They actually extended it until August 21st. Not you guys, that's for sure.
Yo, they don't want these dirty ass Americans.
If you change your name to Muhammad and say you want to come here to pack fish, then they let you in tomorrow.
Oh shit! Damn.
All right,
this dude. All right. Well,
I don't have enough knowledge on that topic to form an answer. It's all right.
All right, because my next, I guess it answers my own question. You don't know yet, but my question, my follow-up question was gonna be, is it the same as you? Like, is it racial tension there, or do you hate each other for other reasons? Like, if you're from what do you call them? Providences or what do you call your shit? Providences.
Hate them only if you're an asshole. No, I don't hate anybody based on that. Hold up.
If I was Canada, I would be banned too. I'll remove you for a minute. That's my guy. He's funny.
Yeah,
cracks me up.
All right.
He cracks me up. But anyways, I just always wondered that. Like, all right, is it just us, man? Is this black white thing? Because is it just America? I know stuff overseas, and I know like the Jews don't like this and the religion thing and all that shit. But is there any place else on the planet that's more racist than America? Not racist, but like racially divided. Do you think?
I mean, there are places in the Middle East, but
by race though, or by religion.
Well, I don't know where you really draw the line. There's a lot of religion. There's in China those Uyghurs that they're putting into camps.
Did you say Uyghurs?
Uyghurs. UIHGUIR or something. I don't know. It's a race of people.
Canadian way to say Uyghur. I thought you turned Canada on.
No, but easy with the squirrels, man. Come on, bring it back in.
Yeah, Focus. but Israel. See, that's what I'm saying. But they're not fighting over race. They're fighting over religion and property, right?
That's barely different. Here's the thing. My answer to that question is there are places that are at least as racist, but for different reasons. America has its own flavor of racism because of our history with slavery.
That's my point.
Much longer than most other places.
And I think we're a bigger melting pot than most places. I don't think there's another place on the planet like America with all the different races, religions, and creeds and mixed races. And like, I think we're kind of solo with that.
Now we're starting to touch on my homework here now, because this was actually touching on one of the questions I was going to ask you guys, because I'm on the East Coast. Well, I tried to. I didn't come up with 10 because I'm not that smart. But on the East Coast, we don't have, we have a lot of things that are different from America. Whereas on the West Coast, at least where we're on this side of Canada, we always say basically BC and Alberta might as well be part of the United States anyway.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
because
I thought they said Toronto was like the New York of Canada.
Well, it is, but it just seems that the trade and the culture and all that, because we're strongly influenced by French people here on the East Coast because we got Quebec right beside us. But on the West Coast, nobody speaks French. Nobody does it. Like they basically like the United States, or at least it appears that way when you want to talk about Canadians versus East and West.
Right.
We basically always just say, hey, BC is basically the same as the States anyway, right?
What it's worth, people on the West Coast are very, very different than the people on the East Coast in this country.
Right. Exactly.
I was going to ask about that too. I was like, well, you guys don't go West Side, or sorry, you guys are.
But also you can argue that in between those two coasts are different people too.
Well, yeah, and absolutely. And the South is different from the Northeast, which is different from the Northwest, which is that's one of the issues that one of the challenges we have as a country of being together is that diversity. It's really, we're united mostly just by laws, but culturally we have
look at these.
He's not wrong.
Wait a minute.
I was going to say that about the racism. I was like, yeah, it's not against black people here. It's mostly against natives. Unfortunately, we have the same sort of.
That's what I was getting at. Like, what is the fight there? First of all, I have so many questions. I'm fascinated with Canada. So, are you known as a Christian nation? Is that most everybody there Christian?
Nah. Yeah, anyone who's religious is, but no.
Oh, is it the home of the atheists?
Well, it's the same as there. You got your you got your Jesus people, but generally, they keep to themselves, and it doesn't represent the majority.
Yeah, shout out to Arkansas. They're definitely a special breed out there. I can name a couple states that have special breeds. Like, you just know that person's from that state when you see them. You know what I'm saying?
Arkansas is like one of the states I just forget about. It's like, oh yeah, Arkansas exists. Like Oklahoma, that's another one. Oh yeah, that exists.
Oklahoma's got some football. Like, college football is big in Oklahoma. If you took Oklahoma University and Oklahoma State out of there, I think you're right. I don't think there's anything else.
It's just like,
I do notice that, Scott, it always looks like it's the exact same time and behind you. So I'm thinking that there's a green screen and you're sitting in like a dungeon somewhere, and that office is actually made up.
No, he's on the
flip back there and move the chair or something, man. It's always the same. It's always the same weather outside and everything.
Yeah, but he's
in the winter. I have a night one.
It's only 5:40. It's only 5:43 out there right now. I'm in Virginia. He's in Cali.
He's at a 3,000 square foot home.
Yeah. Well,
India is racist and class. I know the classes. I know that as fuck. If you are dark, you're really called untouchable in the caste system. Wow. Okay, Craig Robinson dropping knowledge on us today.
All right. Well, here's what. Okay. I wouldn't put Oklahoma with Arkansas. I'm just talking about being forgettable. West Virginia.
Yeah, like if it was breaking news, Oklahoma disappeared. Half the people would be like, huh? What the fuck's Oklahoma?
I don't see.
Is that where they have the Rose Bowl every year?
Yeah.
So West Virginia, I wouldn't put in there because, well, they would be forgetting. They're probably the Oklahoma to Oklahoma. West Virginia is.
See what I'm saying? He just said the fucking Rose Bowl. He don't know who the fuck goddamn Cuomo is. Like.
All right, but we can't put West Virginia in there because they're next to us, Robert. And we
you can 100%.
No, they're not as forgettable. Virginia, and even listen, they even had the song, the John Denver song.
That one,
the West Virginia song. Yeah, Mississippi stands out for its extreme racism in a racist country. It's
and hard to spell.
And what's that?
Hard to spell.
Yeah, that's not easy to spell. Plus,
I mean,
I
unless
think
you be like,
I think they are
crooked
the,
letter, crooked letter, I, crooked letter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what don't they have the song for that?
Yeah. See, how the fuck? That's what I'm saying. He's trolling. He's trolling.
Yeah.
I finally figured out his game. So he knows about all the songs from Mississippi. He knows about this, but he don't know who the fuck Cuomo is. That's bullshit. Cuomo was
because I don't follow local news because I work at a newspaper.
but during you work at a bank. How many jobs you got, bro? Are you one of those
2.
Jamaican Canadians?
Really? Okay.
This is not my 9 to 5. I work at a newspaper, just like all the other superheroes, just like Spider-Man, just like Superman. That's what I tell my kids. But I do this stupid job 3 days a week for extra money. That's it. I don't. This was not every little boy's dream to go work for security.
Well, maybe you should take that shit more seriously and be like fucking top flight security, top flight, baby. Like nobody's getting in here. Put your fucking mask on, button up your goddamn shirt.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, I should get an HAF hard as fuck tattoo here. Stand at the door, attention.
I tell my kids all the time, man. Hold on. Yes, you missed the topic. You can come on, TJ. You missed the topic, her Cuomo. I tell my kids all the time, he laughing his ass off. Yeah, I gotta have more information. So how old are you? Oh, somebody's here. Peace out. All the free money they're giving away in Canada, they're coming to withdraw that shit. Had a whole sermon.
You got the one before that. Read the one before that. West Virginia was the first and last place where I was invited to a church to pray for our country because the Antichrist Obama was elected.
Wow. Well, I guess that didn't work out. He also was going to take all them motherfucking guns too. So
fuck West Virginia. But Mississippi stands out from Oklahoma because Mississippi is the very bottom of the pack, I think, I think they're the poorest state in the country. They have the worst education and the worst health, I think. So Oklahoma rises above that. Oklahoma is more anonymous than Mississippi because Mississippi is the flat out worst.
Yeah, we did not talk about the upcoming lockdown yet.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna get to that. All right, what do we got next? What's up? We did Cuomo.
Oh yeah, we did Cuomo. And basically, we're saying if he did it, lock him up. If he didn't, if he just smacked her on the ass at the water cooler, that is wrong. But can we not call him fucking Bill Cosby or what's the other guy's name? They made all
Harvey
the movies.
Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. That's what you can't put people in the same category. I read what the charges were. It was inappropriate groping.
You're right.
Because your president said that was okay to grab him by the
That is so fucking vague, though. Sorry, I mean, inappropriate groping. I've seen people charged for putting their hand on someone's back when they're going out of the store, and then inappropriate groping is grabbing somebody at the water cooler, like you said. So you got to be more specific with that before we condemn the man.
Groping, your hand has to be like this in some way. Has to be like in a cupping kind of motion.
Yeah. When you do that, the red states top the list.
I think you can grope with a flat hand.
This is more on the OnlyFriends account.
Yeah, you know what's hilarious about that? That's so funny he brings that up because it's actually I've been saying that, and someone corrected me. And shocked, I'm wrong. Sorry, I'm sitting on the fence, but it's OnlyFans, right?
Yeah,
I always say he just said OnlyFans.
It
might be the Canadian. It might be the Canadian. It's probably the Canadian bootleg shit, but down here it's OnlyFans. But I did the same thing until like 2 days ago. Everybody's like, that's if you're gonna have, because I have like a funny joke, and I guess I could say the joke and you can see if it's funny, but I think it's funny. And I always end the joke with the OnlyFriends, and they're like,
"Well, I just screwed it up too, so whatever."
Yeah, that joke would have been so
awesome.
Get to pass. Right,
I bombed it. Oh well, I'm 43, by the way.
Cosby was different story, but Cuomo got to go. Look at
TJ Bell. That's for the Scottish.
That's from the Hanover, Virginia side of things.
Isn't TJ, was that the guy that was on here a few weeks ago saying that he devalued his own neighborhood by bringing Mexicans in? Was that him? Yes. Holy fuck, that was funny. I was like, damn. I know his wife ain't listening.
TJ is funny. TJ's funny as fuck.
Yeah, he's usually on
his wood shop right now. That's why he ain't messing with us.
Yeah, he makes some American flags. He could probably make you a Canadian flag. I mean, he's not.
No, I want an American one. Represent.
Yeah.
Represent. He's gonna be honorary American.
Yeah, man.
Hey, is
well, like you said, I'm just down the road anyway. I'm just a psycho pretending to be Canadian, right? That's why I know about the Rose Bowl and how to spell Mississippi.
You're doing a good job with the accent. I will say that for somebody who's fake.
I don't even hear an accent. First of all, second of all, he can't even fucking speak French. I think he's just a friend.
I don't speak French. I know enough French to know that "la tits now" is not how Frenchmen say it.
Oh shit! "La tits now." What's that? Yo, this dude is blowing my mind, bro. Once you put that up, I knew he remembers everything. That is amazing. He said five things already that it's just blowing my mind.
Super fan number one.
Oh, come on.
I love my neighborhood. Vietnamese, El Salvadorian, Nigerian, British, South Africa, German, and where the fuck does he live?
He lives around here somewhere. What are you, Lakeside?
Are the Trailer Park
Boys?
Live,
Robert, is it Lakeside or for some reason I'm thinking Lakeside?
They were, but now it's getting embarrassing because they're still doing shows and they're like 50 years old. So it's like Trailer Park Boys, like they got grandkids, you know. But the original shows are classic.
Yeah, what about TJ got me with that shit? Yeah, I've used it 3 times already. He said I got the G the other day with the spread necks. We call them the spread necks for COVID.
What about Letterkenny? Is that big for you guys up there?
Say that again.
Letterkenny.
Oh, I know the show, but I haven't watched it myself. But yeah, it is pretty popular.
Okay, all right.
He lives by VCC. I don't
know how funny it would be to other Canadians, but we find it pretty damn funny down here.
Oh, I'm sure the show's great. There's only so much shit on Netflix I can watch.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
I think your boy lives by VCC, Scott. VCC,
okay.
Scott.
Just an 8-home cul-de-sac. Okay. Well, you right down the road, Robert.
Bring on the Mexicans too. I like Robert. He's not like the rest of your friends, Scott.
You mean like me? Where the fuck is he, by the way?
Yeah, he didn't fucking check in yet, cocksucker. I'm gonna get him right now. Watch this.
Who?
Mickey Wright. He's a dick. All right, so I just got
the podcast. We'll check in with who fucking cares in the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, could I ask about that too? Because I have to leave soon.
Sure.
When you threw me off the thing last week and you explained it, you said we used to say who cares, and then they said we can't say that or some shit, and then you say don't care. I followed all that, but it was like, if you're on the Who Cares podcast, why don't they want you using their shit?
That's what TJ Pyle said. So I actually am the founder of the Who Cares podcast. I actually did it by myself. Then I had another co-host, and then I got with the guys at another studio.
So who sent you the cease and desist then?
Well, so we own 1/8 of the rights of the podcast each. So they, all 7 of them, thought that they already were concerned with the spinoff show, because if you look at the Who Cares podcast, it looks exactly like our banner, but it said Who Cares podcast, and it has Chester Creek Studios in the bottom instead of G&J Studios. So I use red and black as the colors of the show.
So they're just covering their ass in case you ever go big. Is that what it is?
I don't know. And we together own the Who Cares podcast YouTube page, which is where you're joining from. Right. But we had an agreement to begin with that it was going to be a podcast production, like all of our they're doing other podcasts too. So we want them all at one place. Should we have named it something else? Sure. So when I did that podcast, it's a play on words to that group of people that I joined up with. The Chris Kessler, the guy in there, he would just like, we would be in a meeting, we would be anywhere, and somebody would be telling like even like a really good sensitive story, and then he would just look over and be like, who cares? And it's like all uncomfortable, and everybody tried to run out of the room laughing. So it's kind of like we used to do that to people. So I named it Who Cares, but I also did it during the pandemic. So I did a lot of small business people on the interview, say how things were going and getting people out to the small businesses. So it's a play on words. Who cares in your community? And who cares, bitch? Why you saying dumb shit? And it just, and they don't like to get political, and they don't like to talk about race.
They don't. They're trying to copyright the phrase "Who cares?"
No, but that's the name of the podcast. But
sure.
But the point is, they sent a cease. How do you say that?
Cease and desist.
Cease and desist.
Cease and desist letter to not. When I hang up, because on that podcast we do it even more. Like we'll get fake guests on and just start interviewing them and just be like, who cares? And we all laugh and drink our beer and go on. Like it's less topics for sure. Like we just shoot the shit basically. They had live shows. They play instruments. I don't play instruments, so I just talk. But anyways, at the end of every interview, I would find a spot in the conversation where nobody's expecting, and I'd be like, who cares? And I kick them off. Right. Well, I started doing that. We started doing that here, and they sent that letter saying, hey, can you at least change the words? Because now it's like, it's the same thing we do, you know? So out of respect, we say, don't care. And then we hang up on you. And last week was a perfect opportunity.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So that's the background. That's why. And if you remember, or if you look back at the podcast,
this is the moment where you're gonna hang up on me, right?
I said who cares instead of don't care anyway. So with all that being said, sometimes I still say who cares. No, I like you.
Yeah.
I just
don't care.
Some people I just do it. Some people I just do it because we've had people don't care themselves. Scott. He said, wait, that's a legit thing. Yeah, we got stakes, baby. Oh, so it's ceased and desist has been broken like 20 times in the last 3 minutes. Yeah, who cares? Podcast Friday nights 8 o'clock.
Big part of the problem.
Friday nights 8 o'clock. Never. We haven't done one in like 4 months. But we're going to start it back up on Friday. So you'll see. If you like the page, you'll get the notification.
This is the one, of course, though.
All right. So what topic are we on? Can we stay on topic?
Yeah, sorry. I screwed it up.
No, it's okay. You're fine, bro. You're Canadian. You're fucking good. But there was
on that topic then, have you ever had just straight assholes come on and shoot off their mouth and you just go, whatever, don't care and flush them because you don't like them?
No, I mean, not really.
Nobody's been a bigger asshole on the show, I don't think, than me. So, I think that it would be really rude to kick off somebody who's less of an asshole than I am.
Yeah, I get confused with two different podcasts, but maybe that happened more often on the Who Cares, but definitely happened. Like, I can't take it anymore type of shit. Like, I can't take it. Like, there was this one person who's cool, but his laugh was so annoying to me that I could not hear it one more time. And we
imitate it.
I don't even remember. It was just so bad. And then the crew was like, "Oh, what happened, man? That guy was funny." I was like, I can't do that cackle anymore. I just can't. Oh, he says lockdown. That's not our topic, but a lot of people do think that we're going back to lockdown. I don't know if that'll happen, only because I think last checked Virginia was well, it depends what you mean by lockdown, but 71% vaccinated or something like that.
Now, what the fuck is going on in Florida? There's like a third of the country's infected are there right now. Last I checked.
Let me
tell
you.
You don't know about Florida? You don't know about
Christ.
Florida?
I don't know about shit, obviously.
If we could saw them off and push them out into the middle of the goddamn Atlantic, we would.
But then all the old people will be gone.
What is that? Yes, there it is. The armpit of the nation is Florida. That's what he's trying to do.
Armpit of America, bro. It's fucking awful. Shout out. I know a couple people that live there. I don't know why y'all should fucking leave, but I get shit, man. I get shit when I talk shit about Florida because I got about 4 or 5 family members and some really good friends, and I don't care. I'm still posting. I'll tag them in it. I'll tag them in the post. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Yeah, they have a show. They have some radio show. I forgot which one. It might be Elliot in the Morning or Opie and Anthony or something. And they just had a segment where they read the
Florida
newspapers from Florida. Florida man, Florida man, Florida woman, Florida man, Florida woman. Of course it's Florida. Of course. No, we talked about it last week. DeSantis, what's his name?
DeSantis.
DeSantis was like, yo, fuck them masks. We're opening up. Disney World, fucking rock out.
Oh, yeah, clever.
Motherfuckers like, please go get the shot. Please go get the shot. He signed
an executive order that no school systems were allowed to mandate masks.
Wow. Even if they wanted to.
Yeah. And
well, everybody's just going to keep their kids home if that's what happens.
I don't know. Who knows? I mean, he is a fucking
doesn't care
asshole.
about Florida because he wants to live in DC and pander to the cult.
Yeah, well, that's true. He wants to be president.
Some people are like, yo, Trump DeSantis 2024.
All right, well, let's not go down that road, please.
See how he does that shit. Okay, topics. Let's stay on topic.
So
I would talk about the lockdown, but I don't know about it.
I don't think that there's going to be any. There may be mask mandates.
So as far as your topic is concerned, you meant another lockdown in Virginia.
Yes,
well,
TJ Bell suggested that.
Any lockdown, I mean, probably Virginia, but maybe, pretty much anywhere. There haven't been, I don't know, there's not going to be anything federally mandated, that's for sure.
Well, he just did it. He just federally mandated masks in federal buildings.
Right, but you can't federally mandate a citizen wear a mask, or they could. They're just not going. It's going to be stuff like that. It's going to be private enterprise that mandates masks.
I can't speak for Scott, but
I don't think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see a lot of government mandated masks, but I mean that could change. See, the thing that the wild card here is that, like we said last week, this is in the United States, it's largely a pandemic of the unvaccinated. And they're unvaccinated.
Well,
most of them are unvaccinated by choice.
Yeah, well, that I know, but that first brings up that. You see that other topic? Let's skip over boofing right now, and we'll go to vaccinated and hospitalized. So, in Cambridge, Massachusetts, 130 people in the hospital, and only thing I could gather, of course, this is what I heard earlier this morning. Hey, man, 10,000 people in Cambridge, Massachusetts, man. Hey, did you hear what happened? Like, what's that? They're all hospitalized. The hospitals are being taken over. They got a little mini breakout in that town, and 1,000 people, and every single one of them are vaccinated. I'm like, what? Like, that's fucking breaking news for sure. Then somebody else told me that it was about 500 people, and then when I actually looked it up, 130 people are hospitalized in that town, and the only thing that both articles would tell me is some of them were vaccinated, but no number.
Wow, so at least they told you that.
Yeah, it went from 10,000 to 1,000 to 130 in some of them. So I thought it was a bigger story than that, but people around the country that are vaccinated are starting to be hospitalized. I know the number. It's like 99.8% that are in the hospitals up until maybe about a week ago have been non-vaccinated, correct? But now that argument's starting to go out the window a little bit.
Well, yeah, well, and the thing is,
there's also the group of people that says the vaccine isn't to prevent you from getting it; it's to prevent you from dying if you should get it. I've heard that argument. I don't know if I believe it, but if that's the case, then great. Why keep the vaccinated, hospitalized numbers such a secret then? If that's what it is.
All right. So my understanding is that that when somebody who is vaccinated actually contracts the virus, that's called a breakthrough case or breakthrough infection. And that is supposedly still pretty damned rare, like less than 1%. And that if you do get it and you're vaccinated, your symptoms are much less severe, generally speaking. But if you do get it and you're vaccinated, you're just as contagious as somebody who is unvaccinated who has.
Oh, so you're not a sufferer, you're still a carrier.
You can be, right? Yes.
Shit. I'm misinformed.
Well, that's that. But again, I'm kind of with G. You said last week on here, you were talking about how you were mad that the CDC lied and all of that stuff. And I wasn't really on board with you so much, but now I read another article about that. And now I'm really not sure what information we're supposed to believe, or even if there is accurate information out there
Exactly.
about the vaccine efficacy against the Delta variant. So, I mean, it's just kind of a wait and see. That the thing is, honestly, it makes me want to mask back up. So, that's where I am.
That seems to have increased. Well, I had a conversation with a podcast listener today, and he was telling me he's the one that told me about that town, and but he did it right. He said, I don't know the numbers, I don't remember what I heard, but look it up, it might be a good topic. So he wasn't the one that said 1,000 or 500. He didn't even give me a number, but I looked it up and it was 130 recently hospitalized, and some of them, not most, some of them, so I don't know the number, but anyways,
thanks for having me, dudes. That's it.
All right, Dave. Have a good one, buddy.
Go.
Sorry, gotta go. Gotta work.
Don't care.
Don't care. Gotta work. You're fucking working that. You work the whole time. What are you on fucking break? Anyways, so I could be misconstrued as well, but I'm gonna butcher this, but RNA or DNA, RNA, whatever it is. Peace out, Robert Lewis. Thanks for coming on.
Maybe he might have been peacing out, Dave.
Oh, maybe. Do they say that in Canada? So I guess it makes spike proteins or something so that your body starts to build up. I mean, I think that's how vaccines work. You're not really putting COVID in your body. You're making your body think you have COVID, so they make the antibodies. And him and I were talking, and he was like, because I think people do think that if they get vaccinated, they can't get it and spread it. And I'm like, so do you think there's like a magic bubble after they do this? It puts a bubble, and if there's COVID in the air, you don't inhale it, and you don't get. I think you get it, but you don't either know you get it, or it doesn't matter if you get it because you already got the antibodies, right?
Well, yeah. So I mean, I think
it doesn't stop you from getting it, does it?
I think that. I mean, how do you define getting it? Can you
like
still
getting it in your body? Well, his argument was
it will go into your body.
His argument was
infection is the question. Like
his.
Will it go into your body and immediately the antibodies attack it and it doesn't do anything? It becomes nothing. Or does it go into your body and the antibodies aren't doing a good enough job and it grows within your body and becomes more severe? So,
right.
Yeah. Anyway,
well, his argument was, gee, have you had measles since you had gotten vaccinated? And I said, I don't know if measles can travel through the air at 7-Eleven and I breathe it in. But if I can, I probably did get measles in my body, but I didn't have a reaction or have to worry about it because I got my measles vaccine, right?
And you fought it off. You fought it off.
There's no,
your body
right,
killed
but I got it. There's no magic bubble. Right. There's no magic bubble that's going to protect me.
It doesn't mean you can't breathe it in. It just is, what is your body doing with it? Is it surviving in your body long enough?
Right. Is it infected? His good words were, it's not infecting you because you got vaccinated, but you still have it and you can pass it.
Well, no, I think that is an infection. I don't think you can pass it without being infected, but you can be infected without having symptoms necessarily.
Okay.
Which again is a whole other thing. So,
I don't think hospitalizations of unvaccinated are 98 points. See, it's coming down a little bit. 98.03 as of Friday.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. Oh shit. So we're an hour and 18 minutes in. We talked about, at least it's perfect for this individual to finally show the fuck up to a podcast when he's supposed to be here. And just in time to talk about our next topic, which is boofing. I don't think there's a better person to let's see what TJ says first. I cannot physically get sick from strep, but I can still get it and pass it on. Yeah. Or you could get sick from strep, right? There's no strep vaccine. It's dramatically lower. All right. So with no fucking more, what is it? Without a veil?
Without further ado.
Oh, without further ado. without further ado, your boy he dipped on us. I was just about to bring him on, and he don't care himself. All right, whatever. Fucking asshole. No, I mean I cannot. Oh, you cannot what? I cannot physically get sick from strep, but I can still pass it on. I'm just saying, if you have a bad case of strep, I think you can get sick with strep. I've had strep pretty bad before. I know kids seem to get it more, but I think as you grow older, strep gets more and more weak, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway,
it's like chickenpox. I had chickenpox, and then I never got chickenpox again. Why can't that happen with COVID?
I think it's possible that we end up with some mask mandates. I don't think we're going to end up with any lockdowns, and I absolutely do not think there's going to be any mandated vaccinations unless it's by employers. If we reach herd immunity through vaccinations, it will be because private enterprise is requiring it of their employees.
Yep, I can see that happening. I'm telling you, I do not have
adenoids.
Oh yeah, he had them taken out. Got you. Well, fucking say that the first time, cocksucker. I think strep can affect the bloodstream and attack organs. It can. That's exactly what happened to mine. That's what happened to Jordan. Jordan was on antibiotics. Jordan was on antibiotics for I don't know if I should say this. He was on antibiotics every single day for a year and a half.
Really?
That shit went. Yeah, his strep went into his brain. It was bad. Yeah, it can. It's horrible. But he has his adenoids out now, but he gets strep. It like lives in his body. Like he gets it all the time. If you said strep in front of him the next day, he's gonna have strep. But we've learned to deal with it. His immune system is much better than it used to be. And he got the jab yesterday. So both my sons got the jab yesterday. So now they don't have to identify as vaccinated anymore.
You're next.
Yeah,
man.
I was telling my wife, man, I don't care if I share this with you. I was telling my wife that I took some pictures of them getting vaccinated, not to put out my Facebook page and say, look at me. Just for memories. I like memories popping up on my phone, but a little bit of tear came to my eye, because I'm gonna be honest with you. And it kind of goes back to what you were saying, that the CDC keeps changing shit, man. And it was a fast, and it was not FDA approved, right? It's not FDA approved.
It was FDA approved for emergency use, which means it went through all the protocols. It went through all of the same protocols. And
I'm just saying, like, in 3 years, if we all grow 3 heads, everybody that took Pfizer has 3 heads, at least there's going to be a lot of people with 3 heads, so it won't be that bad. But I'm thinking like 10, 12, 15 years down the road, they're like, oh yeah, remember that vaccine that we rushed out? Yeah, it gives cancer. And then my kids made their decision, by the way. I know my one kid's only 12, but
here's you know what, I read a thing about that, and there is zero historical evidence of any long-term effects from any vaccine. Like, if it doesn't affect right away, no vaccines have ever had some sort of long-haul effects. So
so far we don't know.
Well,
about this
I mean, maybe there's a first time for everything, maybe not. But this is the thing, is that they were studying this stuff, this vaccine. The reason they got out so fast is because they've done so much of the work on it for the last 20 years.
Right. Yeah, no, I get that. No, a lot of people don't get that, and they're like, "Oh, we haven't got a cure for cancer yet, but you're gonna tell me in 20 months they got the cure for this thing?" And then you got people getting it again, and then you got the people hospitalized. So it's just like, well, I know I had chickenpox as a kid, but that was just part of my regular old vaccines, for school and stuff. Yeah. So I just never lived through anything like this.
I think the people who make those arguments, they cherry pick the information that supports their point of view that they've already started with. If they really wanted to know, and they really wanted to research and find out how long people have been working on the building blocks of this vaccine and things like that, then they would have a better understanding that it wasn't just less than a year. It was all those years up to this point, and that we can now build vaccines against viruses that don't even exist yet. So we have that technology. It's science. But anyway.
Damn.
All right, let's move on, man. We're closing on an hour and a half. I want to talk about whatever boofing is.
All right, hold on one second. That's not going to take long. That's really just a question. But before we forget about it, gotta check on my boy. Yo, what up, man? You were live on the podcast. I don't know, 18, 19 shows in a row. You checked in, said, who fucking cares? People are worried about you. People from Canada are fucking asking where fucking Mickey Wright is. So you need to check in, boy. And if you answer this Marco Polo, just know you're live on the podcast. See what he says. It'll be better. This response will be better than him checking in on the comment section. Jason said that some of the banks in New York are already making people get vaccinated. News said tonight that Pfizer vaccine was close to approval. Thank God that's the one I chose for my kids. Mass vaccines help. What? Rare cases of polio, measles, and mumps. Pertussis? What's that, Scott?
Wait a minute, where are you?
Pertussis?
Mass vaccines help. Rare cases of polio, measles, pertussis. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's how you say it. I heard pertussis once you said it. Let's see. Jason Parks. Why isn't
it shocking? We have some vaccines for anything.
You thought we can't have another vaccine
because cancer still exists. They must not believe in chickenpox, measles, or any other vaccine.
Yeah. Well, the whole, it comes from the whole Chris. There he goes. The whole Chris Rock special.
Yeah.
He's like, we don't care shit in this country. The government's just a bunch of fucking drug dealers on the comeback. We don't deal. We don't cure the last shit. What's the last thing we cured in this country? Fucking polio. He's like, when's the last when you were around somebody at work and they're like, I'm feeling kind of poly today. Like polio, that's it. Everything else we ain't did shit for. And he's right. To this day, that was 1994, and it's still right.
Yep.
But no, the people that pissed me off during the pandemic, and they were like, so you're telling me that you're going to trust this vaccine? And we've been battling cancer for 50 years and AIDS. Where's the vaccine for AIDS and cancer? I was like, well, personally, I think it's a public health issue because you're not going to go to 7-Eleven and somebody sneezes on you and all of a sudden you might have cancer. Right. Like why or the other argument is, so what you're telling me is I can go get this government shot for free, but my insulin is riding through the fucking ceiling. Why shouldn't insulin be free? Well, no disrespect, but again, you can go to 7-Eleven every day for your whole life and catch diabetes, but you're not going to slip into the mall one day to buy a watch and all of a sudden you come out with diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a public.
Well, I think it's a terrible argument anyway, because frankly, I think
whooping cough. That's what pertussis is. Whooping cough. He had to give us the last quarter. Pfizer made $18 billion. Damn, 18 billion. Damn, my fucking stock went up, but it didn't go up that much. And two of their other drugs, I bought all of them when Trump was toting them bitches. Whatever he said during the press conference, I'm on my Robinhood app just buying everything. I got Pfizer, I got Johnson & Johnson, which is the only thing that I haven't made money off of, and I got the other Moderna. I bought them all. I gotta check on those. I haven't checked on them, but he just said how much? 18 billion. And two of their other drugs that help with the breathing and blood pressure went up 80%. Oh, you're going to have to hit me up. Tell me those drugs, baby. But yeah, they're a bunch of drug dealers. He's right. We don't cure shit. We give you medicine for it so we can sell you fucking medicine, bro. That's what this country's about.
Yeah.
They have.
Did you know the guy that invented the polio vaccine? I think he gave it away.
Oh, yeah, I heard that too, or something like that.
Yeah.
That's good. He's probably a man of Jesus.
Instead of having the patent for it, he gave it away. And
he probably a man, Christian.
Well,
he's probably
a
Christian,
whether he's Christian or not.
It does matter if he feels like this life is not important. Money's not important. He's a good Christian man. He's going to help humanity. I mean, that's what Christian's about, right? Helping humanity. It's 100% because he was, well, at least religious. Maybe he wasn't Christian. Pfizer is also increasing their price with their new contract with Europe. Of course, they're banking. And that's the other thing. Well, they're all making money. No, the manufacturers that came up with the vaccine, I can't deny it. They're making money. I don't know if the government's making money off of it. The government's spending money on it, right? Because it's free for us, but it ain't free for them. Right, Scott?
What?
Like, I heard an argument. And they're like, well, I don't know. I just got distracted by Mickey, right? This motherfucker is all he thinks about is fucking bitches and fucking fantasy football leagues. Jesus Christ. Do it right now, Mickey. Get the names in the fucking hat and come on the podcast. We'll do it live right here. Do that, bitch. Uh-oh. Aaron Michelle. It is free for the insurance companies. I don't think so. I think it's only free for the customer. But that's what I'm saying. It all came out of that. I don't know. I'm stepping out of my realm with that stuff. But
yeah, I don't know.
I just know it's free to us, but somebody's making money. Oh no, look at this comment. Can I self-proclaim capitalism complain that a private company is making money? No. Are you talking to me, Jason? Am I the self-proclaimed capitalist? No, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at the Amazon guy either. Like he was delivering stuff and making money during the pandemic. What the fuck's he supposed to do? Shut down and not like, come on, man. Dumbasses. Scott is my bitch. Oh, hate mail in the building.
I don't even know where that came from.
He always stock, so the government makes money on it. Stock. Oh, stocks. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And he says, no. I think he's saying Scott is not your bitch. He said no. God, we got a lot of comments coming in quick. Government pays the company for R&D. Here we go with the big words. 3 letters, R&D. Insurance companies pay the company for the vaccine itself. All right, so government pays the company for R&D. What company?
Research and development.
The doctor's office?
No. They pay the pharmaceutical company for research and development.
So the doctors don't get the charge. They don't charge me for it, but the doctors charge the insurance company for it. So the doctors make their money too, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like,
you knew I had to pop in after I got the kids straight back to school tomorrow for us. Oh yeah, they go all year round. That sucks. I was telling my son about that. I think they're in school for 3 weeks and then out for 2 and then in school for 3 and then out for 2. So all year long, you got a lot of time off, but they go to school all year round. That shit sucks. Summer, that's what summer's about. You bust your ass in school to relax and party all summer, Scott.
Yeah, but you know what? I told Michelle about this recently. I blame that schedule for my disappointment with most summers as an adult. I anticipate summers to be so much more fun.
It comes around. Well, Christmas is like that too. When you're a kid, it's the best holiday in the world. When you're an adult, you're like, fuck Christmas. Saying that, not Christian Christmas. I don't want to piss anybody. I'm saying the Santa Claus shit and buying your kids all the gift shit. I'm not talking. Don't get these religious nuts on me. What do you mean?
No, I don't mean that either. I still like the season.
Yeah, I do too.
It's not as much fun. And you're right. There's always, I think we're set up for disappointment as you get older, from, it being such a big thing when you were a kid.
Oh, it's not. She doesn't. I'm thinking of like, I know down in Danville, Virginia. Why do I always think she's in Southwest Virginia? She's in Georgia. So not all year round, but they get out in May and they go back in August. So same difference, just a little earlier. And I thought Pfizer funded their own. They weren't a part of Trump's plan. See, that's what I used to argue. And people used to get pissed at me. And they're like, fucking Pfizer's fucking getting approved. Thanks, Trump. Even though they're not going to take the vaccine. They're like, yeah, best president ever. Thanks, Trump. And then I did some research. I'm like, oh, wait. That was like one of the only companies they didn't give any money to. Now, that's not true.
However,
to start, they didn't. They didn't. I think afterwards they ended up funding.
Well, no. My understanding of it is that the government guaranteed them a contract to buy the
right, but they did that with
vaccine.
Everybody.
So they didn't give them money up front, but they had guaranteed money so that they could put their own money into it. But that's,
Oh, gotcha.
It's a little different than being funded directly by the government, but still.
Wait a minute. I thought your sister, I thought they were in college. And then she has
starting
starting kindergarten. Okay.
Yeah.
And Morgan's in 10th grade. Wow. Yeah. Way to start over, Mom. No, I'm just kidding. My dad has a 9-year-old. Shout out to my brother Damien, turned 9 today. 9-year-old. My father has a 9-year-old. My
Your kids
12-year-old
have an
son's
uncle that's younger than them.
yeah. My 12-year-old son has a 9-year-old uncle. Yep. Shout out to Norman Goodori. Without you, I wouldn't be here, homie. Trump does deserve credit. He provided funds to. Did he? Out of his bank account? Did he? Did he? You don't think any president in the same fucking position would have done the same exact thing? Obviously, Biden is showing you that not only would he fucking pay for it, but he's gonna pay you to go get it. $100 a shot. Boy.
I don't know how much credit Trump deserves, because the fact is he could have made it so that it was a hell of a lot more effective by not being such a dick and politicizing the vaccine and the mask wearing and everything about the whole fucking thing. So I'm not inclined to give him any sort of kudos for barely backing into something successful.
Well, not even successfully. Like, I think that, well, successfully for sure. But what I meant is, I don't know anybody. Maybe the pillow guy. The pillow guy was in there. Maybe he wouldn't want to do a vaccine. But that's what I'm saying. I think any American president that was in that situation would have did the exact same thing.
Yeah,
it's not like Trump
course.
went to the meetings and was like, you know
he
what,
actually
you should do the RNA.
He didn't have
Well,
to do anything. He just had to say, okay, let's see if we can get a vaccine.
Jason Park said he cut red tape, which again, so would any president in that situation when there's a fucking global pandemic, I think. Holy ham sandwich. Is that an inside joke in your family?
I know that's what Aaron does say that, but I don't know what she's referring to.
Holy, probably your little rant you just went on, your little half a fucking rant, half a fag rant. I'm just saying some will not give him any credit. It comes no, I mean, he has to have credit. He was the president when it happened, but
yeah, I mean,
George Bush gets credit for fucking cleaning up 9/11, but you know,
right? I mean, yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like, well, if you're paying attention, it wouldn't happen. So
yeah, if you read that POD, bitch, it might be. It still could have happened, but maybe not as bad. But you know, like, look what he did right after 9/11. I'm like, well, I hope he would.
Listen, we're gonna move on. We gotta hit boofing because it's getting late for the kid. Yeah. I got warm milk to drink and bed.
I'm sorry for the kid. That's so funny. I watch a podcast called The Fighter and the Kid. Shout out to The Fighter and the Kid. But Trump, let's just go through these real quick. They're giving comments, okay? But Trump denied it, then tried to take credit for the funding, then said it wasn't real, and then yeah, I know. Hydrochlorine Quinn or whatever it was fucking called. I just watched a conspiracy video yesterday that proves that he was right about the hydrochloride fucking shit, bitch, and the light in the skin. I watched the whole 2 hours of it. It's got to be true. So anyways, yeah, so last topic is boofing, and I just want to know, did you fucking Google it while we were sitting here?
No, I swear to you, I didn't.
All right. So do you know what it is?
I would only guess anal sex. That's about it.
No, close, kind of, very close. So, okay. Would you consider yourself? That's a good question. Would you consider yourself a child of the 80s or child of the 70s?
Probably more 80s, because I don't, the 70s were
like, where does that count though? Like, because when I was in 85, I was 7, so I'm a 7-year-old little boy. So halfway through the 80s, I'm 7. So does that really aren't I a child of the 90s? Because that's kind of when I started really, like, 12, 13, 14, 15, hanging out, like, yeah, how old were you in 1985?
15.
36. 36.
I'm more a child of the 80s, but the 80s spanned the years. I was 10 to 20 years old in the 80s.
And the kid that you pushed off the fucking thing and ripped his jacket after cow tipping agrees with you that he thinks it's booty effing, but it's not. Very close.
All right,
so it's a new thing, and the reason I asked you if you're an 80s baby, because you probably were around cocaine more than me, because you were older in the 80s. I would say I'm more of a marijuana generation of the 90s, fucking Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre smoking fat blunts, and you were probably downtown watching bands at the Canal Street Club sniffing coke in the bathroom.
No, I didn't do cocaine until the mid-90s.
Oh, okay. Mid-90s. Brett Kavanaugh making boofing famous. Oh, so he knows what it is. See, he might know what it is. That's awesome, Craig Robinson. You boofing motherfucker, you. Well, it's a new trend. Well, it's a trend that I don't say it's a new trend because I've heard of people doing it before, but apparently now all these Scott-like kids from the suburbs, was gay for 14 years, but now they're straight. Experience both sides of the railroad tracks, right? Probably very similar to you and your friend Robert Lewis that you used to beat up. He said, I've smoked that shit. Mickey Wright has smoked that shit. Smoked that what? Boofing? Boofing is an activity. It's a verb. So boofing is, and just bear with me here. And I don't know if it is I don't think me and you and I would do this. Meaning, I don't think we'd be like, yo, I got this. Oh, smoke coke? That's called crack or freebasing. If you're smoking coke, Mickey, you're freebasing.
You probably smoked it sprinkled on a joint, which I have too.
Or you're a crackhead. Yeah, well, that's smoke. Yeah, that's different. That's called a woozy. But anyways, or it's called different stuff, but I like a woozy.
All right, so come on. You're
so anyways, because when I say it, you're gonna be like, what? Because I don't want you to think that I would say, hey, Scott, I know you golf today, but make sure you take a shower tonight. And I'm gonna come over and we should boof. Like, that's not gonna happen. But you and Michelle might have a date night, or me and Frankie might have a date night, and we might boof. Okay. So with that being said, what you do is you put your cocaine in a line as if you're going to sniff it, and you have your straw, and you suck it with your mouth into your mouth with the straw, with your tongue back here, kind of like holding it. And then whoever you might be boofing with then takes off their clothes, bends over, and you spit that cocaine directly into their anal glands. And it's supposed to get you ridiculously high. It's called boofing. And that's what our American 20 to 35-year-old people are doing right now. So my question is to you, Scott. Have you ever boofed?
I have not. No, I did.
Because people did that in the 70s.
I did cocaine the old-fashioned way with rolled up dollar bills. Thank you very much, and snorted through my nose like a man.
Never.
I did man-style cocaine.
That's what I'm telling you. I would never boof with you, but I cannot say that if my wife was like, "Hey, I watched the podcast. What's up with this boofing action?" Like on a date night, I might do it, bro. How much of the percentage? How much of the percentage? He did that to me. I told you did it before you did that to me last month. Toss salad and cocaine. No, but you understand that people put drugs in their ass. A lot of people do it with Molly. They'll crush up Molly.
Oh, I did not know they were doing that too. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's called boofing. It doesn't have to be coke. I use coke because you're an 80s.
Now it's familiar with butt chugging. You know what butt chugging
talk to me. No, talk to me. What's that?
Butt chugging is where you have like a you know what a beer bong is?
Yeah.
You insert that into the anus, pour liquor into that, and you get drunk very fast because your body doesn't have to process it through your digestive system.
Mickey was confusing that. That's what you did to him last month. He told me that on a Marco Polo last month. Oh, okay. I got you.
So yeah, that's
so doesn't it come when it stays in? Don't you have to like eventually?
Or there's another version of that where you soak a tampon like vodka and stick that up your ass, just leave it in there.
Yo, real talk. I heard that before with a female, and it wasn't their butt; it was the front, and it absorbs the same way.
Yeah. The danger with butt chugging in particular is not the tampon one, but the butt chugging is that Like when you drink alcohol, your body has a mechanism to let you know when you've had too much. You'll start throwing up. Your body has no mechanism to know when your ass is too filled with alcohol and you might be dying of alcohol poisoning.
So have you tried it?
No.
Okay.
That's a young person's thing. It's not.
I know, but no, it's not a young person's thing. It shouldn't be a thing. First of all,
no, it shouldn't be a thing.
Young.
I'm just saying it's not a my age person's.
What I'm saying is, Scott, think about it. If you pick one beer with all the carbonation and you do that, aren't you just wet farting all? Like, isn't it coming right back out?
I would think so. To me, it feels like it would be an enema. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I've never had an enema, but I imagine you want to shit it right out.
I haven't had one either. I'm scared of it. I probably should. We probably should go get our colons cleansed. But
I did that last year. I had the I had to do the colonoscopy. Trust me, that was.
I know you got to go to bed, but I got a really fun. I'll save it for another podcast. Next time we're on a podcast, be like, "Yo, tell us about the colonoscopy before people got out of the Navy."
No way.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Because if you get out at a certain age, it's a requirement that they have to check your prostate because you could have cancer, and then you say it was a pre-existing condition and all that. Only a certain age. So I got out too early, but I'll save it for another podcast. It is funny. You wouldn't believe it. Kavanaugh talked about in the middle of the school book and
yeah, actually,
what? No way.
You might be right.
In the middle of the school yearbook, it's not new. Oh, I'm not saying it's new.
Middle school yearbook or high school?
Damn, Kavanaugh was boofing in middle school. Oh, Kavanaugh.
Fuck that guy.
Wait, isn't he a Supreme Court justice?
Yeah.
Hey, that's only allegations. I don't like when you do that. He's a fucking Supreme Court justice. Yeah, you gotta have some respect.
Fuck that guy. No, I don't. I don't respect people.
Why? That boy is a freak, your boy says. Yo, he stayed. Robert Lewis was the first guest in, and he's still here, bro.
Appreciate that, Robert. You gotta come on sometime, man.
Yeah, and when
this is how the end of it goes, though. By the end, I'm begging for us to end it.
Don't care. Beg on that, bitch. He gave me the fingers before. Yeah, that's how I do it. Fuck you. He's like, I'd be begging to get off. Well, get the fuck off. We don't really fucking need you to stay. Go to bed. Go drink your warm milk, you old fucking fart. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, laughed my ass off. Got his ass, didn't I? Got his ass. He didn't see that. He was mid-sentence, too. It's hard for me to... He knows it's coming most of the time, but just want to thank everybody for coming out and tuning in. Great podcast. I'm going to go up here. We got Glory-Eyed Beast. He came onto the show. I think his name is David. Robert Lewis, first-time listener. Hopefully he'll be back. Had a good conversation with you. You called me chunky. You said you're just being chunky. It's fucked up, bro. And who else? TJ Bell, of course. Every week, TJ Bell comes in and tells us his bullshit. Jason Parks in the building once again. Been gone for about 8.5 podcasts. Craig Robinson in the building, taking time out of his schedule to come holler at us. Aaron Michelle, my mom, June Hardenberg. Who else? Jason Parks, I already said. I don't want to forget anybody. Anybody checks in, they get a shout out. Craig Robinson already said it. Yeah, I think that's everybody. Aaron, Michelle, thanks for coming on. Please bring your ass back on the show instead of in the comments section. We miss you. I don't care what Scott says. You're always a guest on my show. I'm just kidding. He definitely didn't say anything. Good times. I'll try to catch another one, no doubt. Every Tuesday night, 7:30. Mickey's in the building. No, I was calling myself chunky and just the ladies. It's more than me love. That's what I'm talking about. I used to say this I think it's an old Chris Rock joke. No, old female comedy joke. She's like, yeah, I got a gut. There's some good pussy under this gut. It's like one of the best lines ever. It's true though, man. It's true. Stay fat, stay proud. You know what I'm saying? Fat lives matter. Right, Mickey? Fat lives matter. All right, y'all. I love you. Again, 7:30, Wednesday nights. Let's Talk About It podcast. I love y'all. Thanks for coming out. God bless and good night.